Mads Mikkelsen might be the most terrifying actor in the world. You know a dude is scary when their smile makes you want to run for cover. But it's Mikkelsen's expressive face and stoic demeanor that also helps to make him so well-rounded and capable of projecting menace as easily as he can show sensitivity. And he shows all of these traits in Nikolaj Arcel's bleak historical drama, The Promised Land, delivering a tour de force performance as a man who learns he must be more adaptable than the harsh, unforgiving land he sets out to conquer. Mikkelsen's rugged, angular features make him perfect for the role of Captain Ludwig Kalen, a real-life historical figure of which little is known. When we first meet him, he's polishing his medals after 25 years serving in the German army. However, he's polishing them from inside of a poorhouse, which shows the extent of the charity extended by Denmark to its war veterans. Ludwig, with his measly pension, has aspirations of nobility, and to do it, he requests royal permission to tame the barren Jutland Heath, cultivate it, and make it capable of sustaining a community. He's practically laughed out of the castle by the king's aides. Many have tried and failed, and they believe Ludwig would be no different. But they grant him permission solely to keep the king happy, as he also has hopes of seeing the Heath conquered once and for all. The rocky terrain is the least of Ludwig's problems. It's the people who give him the most trouble. Worst of all is local magistrate Frederick de Schnigel, played by Simon Benenberg, a clownish but extremely dangerous brute who fears Ludwig's efforts will diminish his power. Frederick will prove to be both a political and physical threat, not just to Ludwig, but to the few people he comes to rely on. Those would be runaway laborers Johannes, played by Morten H. Anderson, and Anne Barbara, played by Amanda Collin, who fled poor treatment by Frederick. And then there's gypsy orphan Anne Moos, played by Melina Heiberg, called a darkling and treated cruelly by everyone she encounters. In her, we see that there are caste systems in place even among the most impoverished people in the land. The Promised Land feels like a sweeping historical epic of grand design, a real accomplishment by director Nikolaj Arcel given how simple and personal the story is. But Ludwig's evolution is a fascinating thing to watch, as he's not a fully heroic man by any means. In another filmmaker's hands, that would have been the easy direction to take, to kind of soften his edges. But Ludwig starts off the film very cold and even violent to the people he meets. It's easy to see why. You have this soldier who has risked his life for a country that disrespects him and lets him live in squalor. In this world of chaos, Ludwig is trying to carve out a place where he belongs, and he'll not tolerate anyone who stands in his way. In the beginning, that attitude manifests in cold-hearted interactions with others. Eventually, Ludwig's single-minded focus becomes a different thing. When faced with Frederick's murderous intentions, Ludwig realizes that he will need help to see his dream to fruition, and those people he dismissed earlier are the ones who will help him achieve it. They also have their own dreams to achieve, and they aren't that much different from his own. What forms is something close to a makeshift family that Ludwig feels he must protect from harm. But Ludwig is never a saint, and it's always when compromising those relationships he's made that he makes his biggest mistakes. He occasionally seeks the easy way out to keep Frederick off his back and to please the king. It's the king's land, he always tells himself. When much-needed laborers arrive to work the land, but they demand he get rid of Enmai because the Darklings are supposedly bad luck, Ludwig promises to keep the girl, who has been one of his most reliable workers, hidden away and out of sight. It's a choice he comes to regret, as he does so many others. It's the many contradictions swirling around in Ludwig that make The Promised Land so compelling. Backed by Dan Romer's swelling score and fantastic performances throughout, Arcel seems to have found his groove again. One of Denmark's most accomplished filmmakers after his Oscar-nominated drama A Royal Affair, Arcel made the crucial mistake of coming to the US to direct a dreadful adaptation of Stephen King's The Dark Tower. You know, that one with Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. Yeah, that thing. That was 6 years ago, and this is his first film since then. He seems to have gotten back to his roots, not only by tackling another drama centered around nobility, but by leaning hard on the talent in front of the camera. Arcel didn't completely leave genre behind, though. There are acts of barbarity in this film that will make your skin crawl, and the final act delivers a very bloody and crowd-pleasing coup de grace. It's unclear how accurately The Promised Land reflects the reality of Ludwig Kaelin's life, but this is the kind of robust storytelling and powerful depiction by Mads Mikkelsen that ensures he'll at least be remembered cinematically for a long time. The Promised Land gets 4 out of 5. The Promised Land is also in theaters now. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.